Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Elizabeth. I normally make mom and cooking videos, so if you enjoy that kind of content, make sure you subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you so much for your support. I'm mom to a toddler Dominic and currently pregnant with our second baby, a little girl. Today I'm exactly 37 weeks pregnant, so I'll be talking about what's been going on in my pregnancy over the last week. So right now my baby is about the size of a head of romaine lettuce and weighs probably a little bit over 6 pounds. At 37 weeks, your baby is considered full term, which basically just means they are just about fully developed. If they were to be born now, there probably wouldn't be any major complications. So at 37 weeks, your baby is not considered premature anymore. I wasn't expecting to go into labor early since my first Dominic was born at 2 days past his due date, but it's definitely good news that we made it to 37 weeks. As far as my weight gain, I've gained about 1 more pound. That puts me at 155. I've gained about 28 pounds this pregnancy. That's pretty much right where I wanted to be. I haven't really actually had any cravings this week. Supposedly toward the end of your pregnancy, your weight gain is supposed to slow down to more like half a pound a week, but with Dominic and with this pregnancy, it's been pretty much consistently a week, even in my late pregnancy. And I'm not really eating any more or less, so I don't know why. I think my baby is just putting on more weight here later in the pregnancy. As far as my symptoms this week, I've been having a lot more Braxton Hicks contractions. Some days it's still 1 to 2, but some days I've been having more like 3 or 4. I actually had a lot today. I've already had like probably 6 or 7. I drank plenty of water because they can be caused by being dehydrated, but then also they can be caused by having a full bladder. So if you drink a bunch of water, then your bladder's gonna be full. So you could have them for both reasons. But once I drank a bunch of water and then used the bathroom, they kind of calmed down. It's been kind of painful today, just like bending down or doing anything that really affects my belly area. I'm not really sure why I'm more sensitive today, if it's because I'm having Braxton Hicks contractions. Just in general, it's been even tougher to get around. Turning over in bed is hard, and getting out of bed, I have to be really careful. I had my chiropractor appointment on Thursday. She said my baby was head down and heading toward my pelvis, but her head wasn't quite engaged yet. She was still a little bit crooked, kind of like her head was like here and her legs were up here. I think she might have even been facing the wrong way. So like they call it sunny side up. So when the baby is facing out instead of they should be facing your back. But a couple nights ago, it actually woke me up in the middle of the night. I felt some kind of crazy movement going on there. So I don't know what she was doing, but I wonder if maybe she turned around to face my back, because since then I've been feeling more what I'm pretty sure is her butt. So I'm pretty sure she's facing the right direction, but I'm not really an expert in that. I have a prenatal appointment Thursday and then a chiropractic appointment Friday. So I'll see if they both can check and just make sure that she is where she needs to be. I also need to start doing some spinning baby moves. There's something called the Miles circuit. It's just being in 3 different positions for 30 minutes. Like, I probably can't explain it very well, so if you're curious, just Google it. Doing these different positions is supposed to help get your baby in the right position. It's just doing something where I can't really do anything else except maybe listen to a podcast for 90 minutes. When I have a toddler and a house to clean and dinner to make and all that stuff is kind of difficult, but I'm gonna try to work it in at least once or twice a week. I had a Zoom meeting with my doula the other day. With Dominic, she actually came to my house for everything, and we had a birth class through her. But since this is my second baby and I know a little bit more what's going on, and I didn't feel like I needed the class again, we've just been having our meetings over Zoom, and that's a little bit easier and of course the safest way to do it. We just kind of went over my plan and expectations, and I'm definitely planning pretty similar to what I had planned with Dominic. Going to try to have another unmedicated birth. Now, she actually came to my house and helped me labor for a bit with Dominic. Since my labor was pretty fast, I'll probably just have her meet us at the hospital this time. If things seem to be going similar, just because your second baby is typically born even faster. We also plan on having our baby's umbilical cord blood and tissue banked. We did that with Dominic, and we'll do it again this time. We have the kit ready to go. I think I signed all the paperwork that I needed to. I actually had to call them today because on my account it said there was some paperwork that still needs to be signed, but I never got it. So I called them and they said, oh, we must not have sent it to you. So they sent it to me, and we're using Viacord for the company. It seems like the pricing between the different companies is pretty similar. They all always have some kind of promotion. Viacord has had good promotions, and I really like their customer service. Anytime I've needed to call them, like, I've never had to wait on hold, and they've always had super friendly and helpful representatives. So if you are looking into cord blood banking, I would recommend Viacord. I'm down to my weekly prenatal appointments now, so I wanted to go over how that went. The biggest thing was my Group B strep test. If you want more information about Group B strep, just Google it. There's lots of information. It's a little bit hard to explain, so I'm not really going to go into details about what it is, but that was definitely something I was a little bit worried about, because if you are positive for GBS, it's best to get antibiotics during your labor. It's something that doesn't affect the mom, but your baby can have complications from it. They can get really sick or possibly even die. So it's treated with antibiotics in labor. But the problem is, if you get treated with penicillin, you need 4 hours for it to go through your body and work. And we actually have a family allergy to penicillin. My dad and brother are highly allergic to it. I'm not sure if I'm allergic to it or not. I think I'm going to get tested to see if I am when I'm not pregnant anymore. But if you don't get penicillin, the other antibiotic that they give you actually takes 8 hours to become effective. Since with Dominic, I spent all of a half an hour in my labor and delivery room before he was born, I highly doubt that we would be able to make it to the hospital 8 hours before. I was only even in labor for 7.5 hours, much less 4 hours, even if I would get penicillin, which at this point I'm just saying, don't give me penicillin, just in case I'm allergic. It wouldn't be a good idea to have to worry about breaking out into hives while I'm in labor on top of everything else. Luckily, I got my results and my GBS is negative, so that's just one less thing that I have to worry about. At one of my prenatal appointments, I had talked to them about it too, and they basically just said, if you're positive and you don't make it in for antibiotics, it's okay. We'll just monitor the baby really closely and treat if they would seem to be having any symptoms. There were a couple other things that I talked to my midwife about in my prenatal appointment. I'm going to a pretty big town, one town over from where I live. They have a good sized labor and delivery wing in their hospital. There's another town a little bit further away from us that has a smaller hospital that does labor and delivery. And they actually are closing their labor and delivery wing right now because they're having more COVID patients in their hospital and they need more space. So they are sending people in labor and delivery to the hospital that I'm going to be going to. So that's something that I was wondering about, if they've had any issues with the hospital being full or have to send people away. So I asked my midwife what she has experienced lately, and she said they have not been full. They've not had to turn anyone away. And if they would happen to be completely full in labor and delivery when I was there, they would find a bed for me, whether it would be in triage or an operating room bed. They wouldn't make me go to another hospital. I also asked about the tub rooms because I want to try to labor in a tub if I get there and have enough time. They have 4 tub rooms. She said she's never had an issue with somebody not getting a tub if they wanted one. There was one time where somebody who wanted it was in triage and they were still cleaning the room, but pretty much by the time she was ready to go to a room, it was ready. So that makes me feel a little bit better too. I had a tub room with Dominic, but since I was starting to push almost as soon as I got to my labor and delivery room, we didn't even have time to think about filling it up. I asked her about how the week before my appointment, I had been having a couple little dizzy spells and eye flutters, and how they had been happening more so if I hadn't eaten for a longer stretch of time. And so she said it probably was just related to low blood sugar. The other main thing it could be related to is high blood pressure, but my blood pressure has always been good at my appointments. So she said just make sure I eat really regularly, and if I would have a dizzy spell where I felt like I was going to pass out to go to the hospital. So of course that all makes sense. That's pretty much it for my prenatal appointment. We did the fundal height measurement and checked baby's heart rate, and all of that was perfect. My husband and I have officially quarantined ourselves now. What I wanted was strict quarantine 3 weeks before my due date. So no more shopping. We weren't seeing a lot of people before, but we're making sure we're only seeing other people that are also following a strict quarantine right now. And of course, I'm still going to my prenatal appointments and my chiropractor's appointments. Those are, of course, essential and pretty low risk. Yesterday, I went to Aldi and got a pretty big haul. I filled my entire cart full of stuff and it was only $140, so I felt really good about that. I got lots of cheese, lots of cereal. I got plenty of newborn and size 1 diapers, some pantry stuff that I thought we might be needing in the next few weeks. Just anything that I know they have the best price on that will be shelf stable for a while. I'll be doing my grocery pickup at Sam's Club or Walmart probably here in the next few weeks. But unfortunately, my Aldi doesn't offer that, so that's why I wanted to get all the deals that I could from there. All right, and that is everything for my 37-week update, so I'll show you guys the bump now. Here's the front. Yes, I'm wearing purple with purple because I'm 9 months pregnant and I don't care. I still don't have any new stretch marks, still just the old ones from Dominic. At this point with my pregnancy with Dominic, they were like red and raging, and they're not even red now. Here's the side. Yeah, I feel like she's dropped even a little bit lower. Thanks so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe.